Eric Paulson here with 9 to 5 Sports, going to begin into the Worldwide Technologies Championship at Mayakoba. They keep changing these names, which makes it a little bit difficult to say the names. The Mayakoba Championship is the one I'm going to refer to it as in this video because I don't want to have to repeat myself a few times there and correct it a few times. But this tournament is one in which we kind of know what to expect, even though it doesn't always have the shot link data for key stats like strokes gain stats. We can tell though based off of like good drive percentage and like stats like that, driving distance, driving accuracy, par 5 scoring, par 4 scoring, what the key stats are going to be. But first, as always, before we get into the top picks, into the previews for this tournament, I do want to just lead off with the results from last week. So last week, very interesting week, and this brings up a good point that I remind you guys about, is that in fantasy golf, kind of the beauty of fantasy golf is that there's really 3 ways to have a profitable or good week. Obviously, the main slate is the main thing. The main slate, that's one. Number 2 is outright bets. And then number 3 is the showdown. And really, those 3 tiers for 9 to 5 have been top notch. And it's been spectacular. So like last week, admittedly, so I'll pull up it here on the results TV. So going to the results tab on 9 to 5 Sports, just going to pull it up here. Bermuda Championship from last week. Here we go. So wasn't on Patrick Reed, wasn't on the winner. So in our player pool, we had 26 players, 6 missed cuts, only 9 top 25s, and only 3 top 10s. So really not a good week there. But what was nice is that, I'll pull this up on the tweet that I had, actually had a dominant week on the showdown slate. What was funny about it is that on round 3, I didn't cash any of my lineups, which was funny. But in round 2, cashed all of them, and then in round 4, I ended up taking down a small GPP. The point here is that I should probably start playing more showdown contests as well. But the nice thing about that is that you can have a profitable week in fantasy golf multiple ways. And that's kind of the best thing about fantasy golf. That's the beauty of it as well. It's like the work doesn't stop just at the main slate, which is always fun. And honestly, guys, the showdown slate has been a pretty profitable slate as well. So just kind of throwing that out there as well. But yeah, okay, those weeks are going to happen. We thought it was going to be a high variance week, and it turned out that it was a high variance week. So, those weeks will happen. But let's get into this week. We'll pull it up here on the tournament page here on 9to5sports.com. So I already got it pulled up. El Camaleon Golf Club. So we can see par 71 course, short course. Typically does play as an easy course, although the cut line is kind of hit or miss. It really depends on the wind conditions, kind of like last week, how the course is going to completely play. The thing with this tournament is that we don't have really key stats from it. We can see par 5 scoring is a little bit more significant, birdie or better percentage, a little bit more significant in terms of who does well. We can also see, good drive percentage over driving distance there as well. But really no big key stats to really go off of, but kind of the same thing last week that we're going to be looking at for key stats. Good drive percentage, par 5 scoring. Greens gain I will be looking at as well. Effective scoring as well. That's that 9 to 5 stat. Which is a proprietary stat, which is just kind of bringing in all the significant key stats for that week. So then we get into what we're going to be looking at for this tournament. We'll get into the picks. So I did update this a little bit here, guys. I mean, this looks pretty nice, does it not? I mean, little update here. I think this looks good. But here we go. So like Justin Thomas is going to be a phenomenal pick, top rated player in the 9 to 5 mile. I do really agree with that, but I do want to start off with like Abraham Answer. So I like to break this down into the top 4 picks in each price point tier. And Abraham Answer is going to be the first one that I like. 10.7 is a great price point for him. We can see 4 straight make cuts at this tournament, with 3 of them being top 12 finishes. Love to see that. Not the best stat thus far in the season. That's okay. Top 25 still, like that. But he is the 12th best in recent form. Overall ranking out as the 4th best pick in the 9 to 5 model. 87% chance to make the cut. We love to see that. I think he's going to be a strong pick this week. I think starting out a lot of your builds with him does make a lot of sense. Then we go down into someone like Billy Horschel. So Billy Horschel has played phenomenal at this course as well. A 5th and 8th and a 21st place finish. Not that many key stats for him on the season just yet, but he has made 5 straight cuts in a row. So we do like to see that. When we think about, a course that you want to be accurate with, and a course in which, you kind of want to be putting it better, Billy Horschel is someone that does pop up, but we hate the price point here. Like if he was 9K, sure, we'd be putting him into a lot of our builds feeling good about it. This price tag is a little bit too much to pay up for him, especially when you got like Brooks Koepka and Scotty Scheffler, who, right now they're probably not better than Billy Horschel, I guess, if you will, but like their highs are definitely better than Billy Horschel and their lows are not as low. So it does make him tough to play. I get that, but I don't mind him at that price tag. And then Aaron Wise going a little bit lower. We can see kind of the hit or miss nature with him. A second miscut, top 10 finish, and then a miscut. That's all right. But what we do like about him the most is that he's in great recent form. 6 straight May cuts in a row with, a 5th and an 8th place finish there at the CJ Cup and the Shriners. Love to see that. Not a horrible for like course history ranking. It still doesn't rank out that bad. 46th here. It's not horrible, but top 10 in StatFit, top 10 in course history rank. Love to see that. And then 9th best in the 95 miles this week. 79% chance for him to make the cut. Aaron Wise is a play that makes a lot of sense for me, especially at this price point. If you want to start off your build with him, I get that a lot. And then going a little bit lower, like just for the sake of this segment, trying to find 4 quality plays in this price point here. I went with Taylor Gooch. It is what it is. 2 straight May cuts at this course. We like to see that. We do want to see like a top 30 finish out of him, but great recent form. 5 straight May cuts in a row with 5th and 11th place finish. That's all good there. Does rank out top 10 in the 95 mile this week, but it does feel like we're paying up a lot for someone that's more of a risk reward type play. Now we're going to get into that mid-tier price point tier. I don't mind Matthew Fitzpatrick. If you guys end up on him, you do. That's fine with me. But I want to talk about Maverick McNeely here. And personally, guys, I probably should start out with this. I don't think we have to make a lot of our builds in the 9.5 to like 8.5 price point range, really. There's a lot of great values there's a lot of great plays in the low tier and the mid tier. And there's some pretty decent value plays as well. So this is kind of a dead price point range for me. But, if you end up here and, you have $500 left over, you want to find a quality play, then it's going to be Maverick McNeely here, 12th and a 26th place finish. He's been in pretty good recent form as well. Top 20 in recent form, like top 20 in the 9 to 5 model. He is someone that should make the cut at a course like this, but it does worry you a little bit. And then we get into Mito Pereira and Christian Bezuidenhout. So these two were both, players that were expected to win last week, and now we're getting a significant price discount on them, really for no reason at all. I know C-Bez didn't play all that well, but I brought this up on a 9 to 5 stat that I posted on Twitter as well, and I'll show you guys here. So average finish on short tracks, he's number 1 there, and it was like 2 starts. That's kind of the problem with some of these guys, especially like someone like Christian Bezuidenhout, but he has the best average finish on short tracks. Maverick McNeely as well. We do like to see that kind of stuff pop up. It's never a bad thing to see players like that popping up. So good stuff there from him. And then Mito Pereira, just a world-class player. Kind of had an off week last week and still finished top 30. So really not a bad start there as well. Both of them are raking out really well in the 9 to 5 mile. Both of them top 10 players. I kind of like them. If you just want to play both of them in your cash build, go like someone like Aaron Wise as well. You're sitting pretty good so far on the week. Let me go a little bit lower to someone like Seamus Power, who, he almost saved my week with the betting card. I kind of fell off there on Sunday, but a top 12 finish for him last week. The issue with him is that he hasn't had good starts at this tournament. 2 straight miscuts at this tournament, which is really hurting him in that ranking as well. Overall, I don't mind him. Overall, I think he'll overcome that because he's just been a much better player than that throughout like the past 3 months. But there's other players in this price point tier that you could easily go with instead of him. Like Emiliano Grillo is a perfect example of that in this low tier price point range where, 4 straight May cuts at this tournament, an 8th, a 15th, and a 9th place finish. Sure, he started out the season a little bit rough, I guess, if you will, key stats wise, but 4 straight May cuts still. We'll take that, but they haven't been really good finishes, obviously. Don't love that. And he's always someone that you never want to trust in cash because he's so hit or miss. But he's going to make for a great GPP play this week. And I think that might be a problem. Or that might be a mistake people make. They're going to play Emiliano Grillo in cash when he's more of just a quality GPP play. I could see that being a problem that people make this week. And I don't want you guys to make that problem or make that mistake. Just a very interesting play there with him. And then going down a little bit lower, like something like HV3 really popping up. top 15 in the 9-5 model. No, decent play overall, 7 straight made cuts in a row. We like to see that, which is kind of surprising from him. Overall, just looking like a quality pick. And then going down a little bit lower, Taylor Pendrith. So the worry with him is that players like this, where, you know, he probably, all in all, he probably should have won last week. Really choked on Sunday, had a horrible round. He still finished top 5. And it's one of those things where had he had a good run on, let's say if you reverse the Saturday and Sunday rounds, I'd be all over him, you know, if his Sunday round was that really spectacular round. But it wasn't. You know, he choked on Sunday. So it's like, where is he at mentally with that? How is he going to deal with that? But still does rank out as a top 15 play. So I do like him as a play this week as well. Just kind of a weird play at that price point because you don't know where he's going to be at mentally. You saw some of the post-tournament interviews. It seemed like he was going to be fine. It seemed like it's going to be a non-issue with him. Although you do still worry about it a little bit. And then just getting into the value tier here, guys. Some quality plays. We got Scott Piercy, who's made 3 straight cuts at this tournament, including a top 10 finish. Now, he's kind of sucked lately, but he's someone that does do well on pass volume greens. So that kind of, I almost got it right there, but it wouldn't surprise me if he goes out and, you know, makes the cut. And that's really what you're searching for from a value tier price point play. And then Tom Hoge right here as well. We've seen him top 10 finish, 2 missed cuts, and then a made cut. What we like about him is he's been in, you know, pretty good recent form. 3 straight top 32 or better finishes. Love to see that from him. Doesn't break out too well in the 9-5 mile this week, but he's someone where, you know, we can just kind of chase that recent form and kind of just be good with it. But here, I'll show you guys here. Kind of an easy way you can do this is, let's go down to the salary here. Sub 7K. And who is the player that ranks out best in the model? Naharban Lahiri. He always keeps popping up. That's kind of crazy. Roy Sabatini, don't really trust that. Scott Piercy. But you guys can see here, not the best options down here. You could go with somebody like Ches Reavie, though. Hopefully he finds his form. I don't mind that. Danny Lee is someone that did actually really catch my eye. Good course history. Played well last week. You can chase that recent form. There's just so many routes that you can go. And then I do want to touch on Graham McDowell. He's someone that also is a good putter on possible, you know, greens as well. 2 made cuts, 2 missed cuts, you know, kind of mixed results course history wise. Played well last week, top 12 finish. At 6.6, he definitely does seem a little bit too cheap for someone that I think could end up with a top 25 finish. But that's all I have for you guys for the picks and previews video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. I do appreciate that. And as always, guys, let's keep cashing.